Today, we don't worship gods anymore. We worship prophets. And every empire has its ghosts. That's where her story begins. Not in a graveyard, but in a ledger. New York in 1800s. Cobblestone streets echo with carriage wheels and coughing lungs. And through the mist, a woman walks, dressed all in black, her parasol trembling slightly. Her eyes fixed not on people, but on numbers. Her name was Hetty Green. The papers called her the Witch of Wall Street. But people whispered something else. That she didn't grow older, that she didn't bleed, that she fed on something no doctor could measure. Hetty was born into money, but not love. Her father taught her the art of profit, cold and precise like sharpening a blade. When he died, she wept once, and then calculated his estate before the body cooled. People said her grief had decimals. She inherited millions. But with the money came something else, a presence. At night, when she counted her bonds by candlelight, the flame flickered as if something exhaled nearby. The ink on her books bled, and whispers crawled from the corners of the room. One voice, soft, sweet, deadly. If you never give, you will never lose. She listened, and that's when the hunger began. Years passed. Markets crashed. Men wept and jumped from rooftops. Hetty only smiled. While others lost everything, she gained more. She bought banks out of blood. She loaned to the desperate at midnight interest. And every coin she touched seemed to pulse, faintly like a heartbeat. But her reflection began to fade. In mirrors, her face appeared too smooth, her eyes too cold, her shadow too long. A clerk once said he saw her shadow move even after she'd walked away. He quit the next day, trembling, muttering that she'd taken something with her. Greed has appetite. And Hetty's was insatiable. When the 1873 panic struck, she walked Wall Street barefoot, her dress dragging like a shroud. They said rats followed her but wouldn't dare touch her hem. People began to vanish. Bankers who'd crossed her were found pale, eyes wide open, mouths full of coins, and always a faint scent of ink and sulfur. She'd feed not on food, but on fear. The panic of the poor, the terror of the bankrupt. Every ruined soul was a feast, and somehow she grew younger. They started calling her the Witch of Wall Street, not as insult, but as warning. Children whispered her name to make each other cry. Merchants locked their shops when she passed. Even priests crossed themselves when she walked by the church gates. She lived alone, surrounded by gold and silence. But at night, the neighbors heard her laughing, a sound too sharp, too dry, like paper tearing. And always that voice returning from the dark. Never give, never feel, never die. You think she died in 1916? No. That was just her first life. Look around. The skyscrapers that pierce the clouds, those are her new cathedrals. The glowing stock tickers, her prayer candles, the traders screaming into phones, the influencers teaching financial freedom. Those are her new disciples. Because greed never dies. It evolves. And she evolves with it. Now she lives in code. She hides in your notifications, your online shopping carts, your obsession with more. You think it's your voice whispering, just one more purchase. But it's her. Every 3 a.m. scroll through luxury posts, every time you feel poor next to a stranger online. That's her feeding. Through data, through envy, through your exhaustion. She's not haunting Wall Street anymore. She's haunting you. They say if you open your banking app in total darkness and whisper, "How much is enough?" 3 times, you'll see her reflection in your screen, standing just behind you, smiling. Don't turn around. Don't blink. Because if you do, she'll whisper back, "More." And that's how she marks you. Not with blood, but with obsession. She doesn't want your money. She wants your mind. She feeds every time you compare, every time you feel small, every time you choose vanity over value, every time you choose things over peace. The witch has become the god of the modern age, invisible everywhere. Her temples are online. Her followers call it ambition. Her altar is your attention, and she is always watching. They found her body once, old, gray, skeletal, but her eyes were open, smiling, alive. Her blood had turned black, thick like ink. Doctors couldn't explain it. The coroner refused to write a report. He vanished a week later. And from that day on, people swore her office door still creaked open at midnight. Cold air, whispers, the smell of burnt money. Now she walks unseen, through phones, screens, trades, trends. You hear her when a deal sounds too good. You feel her when you can't stop chasing more. You see her when you stare too long at your reflection in success and realize it's hollow. Every empire built on greed belongs to her. Every sleepless mind chasing wealth keeps her alive. Because she doesn't haunt the weak, she haunts the ambitious. And the higher you rise, the closer she gets. The Witch of Wall Street was never just Hetty Green. She was an idea, an infection. She's the whisper that tells you compassion is weakness, that rest is laziness, that peace is failure. She's in every algorithm, every marketplace, every smiling CEO who tells you we're family before cutting jobs. She's the spirit of endless wanting, and she's winning. So, here's the truth. You can't kill her, but you can starve her. Every time you choose gratitude over greed, you burn one of her temples. Every act of kindness weakens her. Every breath of peace silences her. The witch loses power when you stop feeding her, when you look at your life and whisper, "I have enough." That's her greatest fear, a human satisfied. So tonight, when you check your balance, when you scroll through dreams that aren't yours, and you feel that cold tingle down your spine, stop. Because she's there, watching, smiling, waiting for you to want just a little more. And if you do, you'll hear that whisper in your ear, "Don't stop feeding." And by morning, she'll own another soul. If this story sent chills down your spine, remember, the witch isn't history. She's a mirror. Share this video before she finds someone else. Subscribe to Grind and Grow for more stories where ambition meets darkness and every truth leaves a shadow. Because the real horror isn't her haunting us. It's how much of her already lives inside us.